There's a strange paradox in modern life. The less we know about something, the more confident we tend to be that we understand it. Especially when it comes to areas we've never actually experienced firsthand, we're quick to believe that if we just wanted to, we could do it too. It's not arrogance, it's a subtle illusion wrapped in innocence and inexperience. In psychology, this is known as the Dunning-Kruger effect, which explains how people with the least experience often overestimate their abilities, simply because they don't know enough to realize how complex something truly is. And in the age of social media, where success is presented as bite-sized highlight reels, this illusion spreads even more easily. Think back to the first time you heard about coding. If you've never studied it, chances are you thought it was just typing a few lines of code and building an app. If you've never run a business, maybe you believed it was just about having a good idea and a bit of risk-taking. If you've never written a book, you might think all it takes is life experience and a keyboard. But the truth is much messier. Coding is day after day of wrestling with logic, bugs, and constantly changing technologies. Business is a chaotic ecosystem of people, money, legal hoops, and market shifts. Writing a book isn't about telling your story. It's about helping others see themselves in it. I remember a friend of mine, smart, creative, and driven, who quit his office job to open a small coffee shop. He did his homework, learned how to make drinks, hired a designer for the space, made beautiful menus, ran solid marketing campaigns. On opening day, the place was packed. But within 3 months, he had to shut down. Not because the drinks were bad or customers disappeared, but because of everything he hadn't seen coming. Managing shifts, tracking supply costs, training staff, handling emergencies, dealing with permits and inspections. He didn't fail because he lacked intelligence. He failed because he hadn't stepped deep enough into the reality. Online, all he saw were pretty interiors and 5-star reviews. No one posted about the payroll stress, the staffing drama, or the late-night panic over licenses. That's what I call seeing only the surface. We watch others succeed and convince ourselves we could do it too, easily. We see them crossing the finish line, but we don't see when they started, how far they've run, or how many times they collapsed along the way. We admire the breakthrough, but we're blind to the years of quiet preparation that made it possible. And so, we slip into a dangerous belief: I could do that too, if I started. But the real question isn't, could I start? It's, am I willing to pay the price to start and keep going? Because the cost of doing something truly meaningful is never cheap. It's not just about time, money, or effort. Sometimes it means turning down dozens of shiny new opportunities just to stay on one path. It means choosing to be invisible while others shine. It means stepping back so you can move forward in your own way. It's the long nights no one applauds. It's working in silence when the world seems to race past you. And yet, in those very moments, you're laying the foundation for something that won't collapse when the trends shift. I once met a software engineer working in Silicon Valley. He told me he didn't start coding until he was 29, after leaving a career in education. For 7 straight months, he studied, practiced, and built projects 10 hours a day. He declined every social invite, cut off social media, and lived simply to stay focused. The day he signed his first job offer, making $19,000 a month, everyone called it a miracle. But for him, it was just the natural result of ruthless discipline. He laughed and said, "If you see me on stage, ask me how long I've been rehearsing backstage." Here's the truth: success doesn't come from talent. It comes from commitment. Not from sudden inspiration, but from learning how to endure boredom, frustration, and repetition. In a world where everyone is in a rush to pivot, sometimes the boldest choice is to stay. Because staying means no flashy plot twist, no viral story to tell. Staying means sticking to a path you once believed in, even when it's no longer trendy, no longer glamorous, no longer getting applause. But it's that consistency, that deep, quiet mastery, that will set you apart in the long run. I'll never forget a story I once heard about a Japanese woodworker. For 30 years, he built only 3 things: tables, chairs, and cabinets. When asked if he ever got bored, he simply said no. Every day, he discovered a new way to make a cleaner cut, fit a joint more precisely, or apply a smoother finish. When someone asked him for the secret to his craft, he replied, "I don't change my profession. I change how I do it." In a time when people constantly switch jobs, careers, even values, that quiet conviction is nothing short of radical. Today's world is like a giant supermarket of choices: careers, passions, lifestyles. Each day you're bombarded with stories of people doing amazing things. One is traveling the world vlogging, another is raising millions for a startup, someone else is living off-grid in the mountains. It all looks so easy, And before you know it, you feel pressured to pick something new, to pivot, to reinvent yourself, to chase something bigger. But the real question isn't, what can I do? It's, how far am I willing to go with one single choice? Here's the irony. The more options we have, the easier it is to lose our way. And the sooner you accept that you can't do everything, the closer you get to a kind of freedom that most people spend their whole lives chasing. The freedom from constantly having to outperform others, from the fear of being left behind, from the exhausting cycle of starting over again and again. At the end of the day, there are 3 truths I hope you carry with you. First, beware of confidence born from inexperience. It feels good, but it can be costly. Let reality train you. Don't let illusion lead you. Second, success doesn't live in the spotlight. It lives in the thousands of invisible hours no one ever sees. Don't believe the overly tidy stories. Trust the process. And third, courage doesn't always look like making a bold change. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stay. When the world turns left, you keep going straight. When everyone seeks noise, you dig deeper. In a chaotic world obsessed with reinvention, consistency is the most beautiful form of rebellion. Yes, you can change. But don't change just because someone else showed off their highlight reel. Change because you've truly understood the cost and you're ready to pay it. Because at the end of the day, what matters isn't where you started, but whether you have the grit to see it through. And if right now you feel like you're falling behind, if your friends have houses, careers, and all the shiny trophies of adulthood while you're still figuring things out, remember this: speed isn't the measure of strength, direction is. Someone who moves slowly but steadily in the right direction will outlast the one who sprints but keeps changing course. You don't have to stand out right away. You just have to keep going. Quietly, steadily, with depth. Because when all the noise fades and the trends pass, it's your quiet discipline that will still be standing. You don't have to prove anything to the world. You just have to live a life where each morning you can look in the mirror and say, I know where I'm going, and I'm willing to keep walking to get there. Because in the end, no one is really racing against you, except the person you were yesterday. No one sees the late nights you pushed through, the moments of doubt you wrestled with, the times you kept going even when everything inside you wanted to stop. And no one fully understands the silent battles within you, between your ideals and your reality, your desire for recognition and your quiet strength. But you were there. You didn't quit. You're still moving forward, even when no one claps, when there's no stage, when the road ahead is long and unclear. And maybe there won't ever be a big cinematic breakthrough moment like you imagined. No standing ovation, no spotlight, no one telling you you made it. But one day, you'll look back and realize you've come farther than you thought possible. You'll see that it was the nameless consistency, the quiet decisions, the days you didn't stop, that shaped you into the strongest, most grounded version of yourself. So keep going, stay quiet, stay steady, and believe this: in a world obsessed with going big, it's the small steps you never stop taking that build the extraordinary. I hope you found this video helpful. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit the like button. It might seem like a small thing, but because of how the YouTube algorithm works, videos with more likes tend to get shown to more people. So your like really helps this video reach others who might need it too. And if you find my content valuable, consider subscribing. It really helps more people discover it. Thanks for watching, and I wish you and your family good health and peace. See you in the next video.